Hi there, students. Traction. Okay, traction is a noun, but it's an uncountable noun. Traction is the grip that something has on a surface, particularly on the floor. It's the friction between something and the surface on which it is moving, particularly on a road. So if you drive when it's snowy, if there's snow all over the road, your wheels don't have much traction, they don't have much grip, they don't grip the ground very well, and you should use chains which will give you much better traction. Okay, so traction. Winter tires will give you better traction in mud or in snow. Okay, so traction is talking about the ability of a wheel or a tire or a shoe to hold the ground without sliding. Because if you accelerate suddenly and your wheels just spin, you've got no traction, and your wheel is just slipping. So this is traction. Now you can also use traction to talk about pulling. The pulling of a heavy load, or the power to do this. In the old days there was such a thing as a traction engine. This was a big steam engine that pulled heavy loads along the roads. It was a traction engine, it was pulling. And traction has this meaning of pulling something along. Traction, the act of pulling or drawing something over a surface, particularly by something with power. Yeah, traction, being pulled, being drawn. And then in medicine, if you break your leg, you can be in traction. They put you in hospital and they put your leg and they put weights on it to keep it tense, and that's to be in traction. So after he broke his leg, he was in traction for nearly a month. Okay, so traction, various different things. And then we can use this idea of grip metaphorically. So a political campaign could begin to get traction, begin to have momentum, begin to progress towards a goal, gaining support, gaining recognition, gaining popularity, popular support. So his election campaign is getting more and more traction. Or a new product can get traction because it's getting more and more new customers. This is talking about the adoption of a new product or a new service, and this gains traction. For example, when mobile phones first came out, they gained traction very rapidly, very quickly. It's because they've got grip on the surface and they're pushing forward. So to gain traction, to go better, to do better, to improve, to gain ground, to be moving in a forwards direction. So traction, the act of pulling, the grip that a tire has on a road, the putting a sustained pull on a limb to maintain the position of a broken bone, to correct a deformity. And then traction, the extent that a new product gains popularity. This type of technology is gaining traction within businesses. The car hit a patch of ice and lost traction. His leg was in traction for weeks. These tires give much more traction. Okay, this new product is gaining traction. It's becoming more popular. This film got very, very little traction, and it was out of the cinemas in a very short time. So traction's talking about the adhesive friction on which between something and a surface. Okay, so traction, it's talking about pulling. Traction, I think I'm going to give traction a 5 in formality. I think you could use it anywhere. And then it comes from Latin, tractus, from trahere, to pull in Latin. So it's just talking about pulling. So, traction.